So, you want to bag your Lexus Rcf. Hello and welcome to another video. So today we have a very special car behind me. This is the Lexus Rcf. This car is in very pristine condition, and this is only at 3,000 kilometers. So it's here because we had to do some TLC. This is a previous car porn client. As you may have known, we are handling car porn clients as of now. Nag-transition na lahat sa amin. We will take care of all of those cars na naiwan ni Car Porn Racing upon their closing. Don't worry, we also have all of the AREX and AccuAir stocks. So replacing your stuff for your car porn build is going to be straightforward. So, nonetheless, another topic yon. We are here today with the Lexus Rcf. And there's a lot of things that we can talk about this car. And it has a very overrated suspension. That's why it's actually a great riding vehicle, especially on bikes as well. So, the owner of this RCF contacted me due to concerns about the air suspension because of the lack of maintenance. He wasn't able to do the maintenance for the car. Nonetheless, we're going to talk about the air suspension build nitong kotseng ito. He came from an AccuAir Classic X-mount layout, and now it has a Endo tank CVT. We're gonna show that to you. It was a major overhaul for the client, and we actually improved a lot of stuff on the back. We're going to discuss that in a bit. I would like to take this time to say, please subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, hit that bell icon for the notification as we grow and grow, building cars, bagging cars, vlogging cars. Okay? Thank you for all the followers, subscribers, likers, fans. Thank you sa inyo. So, without further ado, let's get our hats on and let's discuss the under chassis of this car. And let's talk about more of the car on the outro later. Okay? Okay. Welcome to the front side of the suspension ng Lexus Rcf. We are greeted with a big space immediately. We are sporting a AREX air strut kit from Car Porn Racing. A triple bellow bag design ang ginamit ni AREX dito. And right off the bat, we are using a double wishbone suspension. We have a wishbone here and a wishbone down there. Ibig sabihin ng wishbone suspension is, yan ba'y maganda sa air suspension natin? Yes, it's very good. Because pag naka-double wishbone suspension tayo, yung airbag natin hindi kumakaliwa at kumakanan or hindi siya pumipihit sa axis niya. Ito. If you are an avid viewer, nakikita mo sa mga videos natin, lagi tayo naka-McPherson strut sa unahan. Most common yun. Ang nangyayari, itong shocks na ito, pag kinakabig mo manibela, pumipihit siya. In English, a McPherson strut tends to pivot on that axis here when you turn the steering wheel. For a wishbone suspension, that does not happen. Okay? So as you can see, kumakabig na yung manibela, steering wheel is turning the other way around. So kahit kumakabig yung manibela, the shocks remain stationary. The other way around. Yan yung beauty ng wishbone suspension. That is very good for air suspension. Sige, kabila. Yan. So as you can see, full turn na siya. Balik. So kahit kumabig yung manibela ng sagad, yun ang beauty ng double wishbone suspension for air suspension. Tsaka of course, pag naka-double wishbone ka, yung suspension mo pag nag-air out ka, nagka-camber siya forward and backward like that. So maganda tingnan yun pag nag-air out. This build is sporting some height sensors. Yan yung height sensors for those who are curious. Those are potentiometers na nakakabit sa arm ng kotse. Potentiometers na pag nagbago yung height ng kotse, nagbabago yung resistance. So I can actually see what the height of the car is. We installed that on the suspensions para makapag self-level tayo ng kotse. Yun ang purpose ng height sensors. Yun lang naman. Maluwag naman yung unahan ng RCF. Okay, so you can see, triple bellow design. Shoot naman ang kamay ko hanggang likod. So wala ka dapat problemahin. Okay? So yun lang naman ang masasabi ko for the front side of the suspension of the RCF. Let's go to the back side, some more complicated design. So welcome to the rear side of the suspension of the Lexus RCF. This is actually a multi-link independent rear suspension. Multi-link being meron tayong mga multiple links like the tow arm, the camber arm, tow arm sa front side, tow arm sa lower side. So madami tayong nakalink sa isang hub. Kaya siya tinawag na multi-link suspension. Now, our focus is not the suspension itself, but the airbags itself here. So as you can see, nilawan natin, we have a divorce layout suspension here. This is the shocks and yun yung bag. So yan yung triple bellow bag, 1, 2, 3 na bilbel. So this is actually from Carporn Racing nga din. Arex tong system na to. Pero may ginawa kaming kakaiba. So you can see sa ilalim, yun, doon, naglagay kami ng spacer. So ayan, naglagay kami ng spacer sa ilalim ng bag to actually make the bag be compressed by the suspension arm. Kasi ang problema namin before namin sinut yung video, actually nakapag-shoot na ako ng video before. Ito yung video na yon. I do not like this design na ginamit ng Arex, yung triple bellow design na yan. I do not like that. I personally hate the fact na itong ginamit nila kasi hindi napipisak ng kotse yung airbag. So kahit mag-air up ka ng mataas na pressure, hindi kayang itaas ng triple bellow design yung rear suspension. Okay? So nakita nyo, nakapag-shoot na ako, hindi ko pa ina-adjust yung bag na yon. So, ang problema, hindi ako happy na hindi ko nagawa yung gusto ko. So sabi ko sa client, give me another 4 days, ayusin natin yung rear. So hindi namin agad binago kasi nga plug-and-play kit ito from Arex. And just goes to show you na hindi porket plug-and-play siya, ay wala ka nang gagawin. So, inayos namin further. So, yun lang naman ang gusto kong sabihin sa likod ng RCF na ito. Plug-and-play airbags from Arex, pero minodify pa namin yung placement. Okay, nagyan namin spacer sa ilalim. So, yan yung spacer na nilagay namin. Okay, be mindful of the gaps na lang. Kita nyo naman, sobrang tight ng clearance namin dito. So anyway, while we talk about the suspension, I'm also checking the suspension parts kung may nalimutan ba kami. Oh yeah, he's sporting height sensors here. So just checking everything before we release the car. This is how we do it. So anyway, that's going to be it for the rear side of the suspension of the Lexus Rcf. Hope you learned something and hope you understood what we did for this Lexus Rcf. Okay? See you at the back side. Alright, welcome to the trunk layout of the Lexus Rcf. So right out of the bat, makikita nyo, we have our Endo CVT tank mounted inversely sa bubong ng trunk. This is actually a CVT setup. Sabihin na CVT, yung valve ay nasa takip, yung pump nasa loob. And then ito yung management system, kita lang sa gitna. So that presents it with a very, very clean setup. So wala ka makikita masyadong clutter. Lahat is nakatago na. This is the beauty of Endo. If you want something presentable, this is something that you can go with. So, that being said, let's talk about the trunk space. The trunk space of the RCF is weird. Kasi meron siyang malaking, alam mo yun, may malaki siyang tambol dito for the spare tire. So, from factory, hindi na maganda yung kanyang space. So, hindi naman natin na-invade yun kasi sa taas tayo nagkabit. Isa rin problema ng RCF na ito or the RC platform is hindi nare-recline yung back seats. So, from the factory talaga, limited na yung kanyang trunk space. And if you're gonna rock with a 2-door sports car, I don't think space is your concern on the trunk. Pero yeah, overall, we have actually a very nice presentable setup na thanks to Endo CVT. And yeah, for more details about this, we'll make a new video for the CVT. I know some people are curious about it, but for now, this is what it is for the Lexus Rcf. Very presentable design. Kudos to the boys for working so hard for this project. Okay, let's drop the car and let's proceed to the final thoughts. Tingnan natin kung anong masasabi natin sa Lexus Rcf. Welcome to the outro of this car. So the car is back on the floor and we're now here. We're going to show you the dynamics of the car first before we discuss our final thoughts. As a fitment tradition, start natin yung kotse. It's gonna get loud. Unahin na natin to kasi malakas to, maingay, if it will start. So, okay. I hope you can hear me. And let's do this quick because the exhaust is very, very loud. We're gonna show you the vehicle dynamics of the car. Of course, the first step is to raise up the car. Okay? Right now, we're aired out, obviously. Let's go to P3. Okay? Okay, while we're at P3, as you can see, the car can lift up pretty much really high on the ground. So we can still lift up the front. Okay? This is very common for double wishbone suspensions and multi-link rear suspensions. They tend to have a very, very long suspension travel, thus translating to a very, very nice ride. Okay? So now we have our, this is not yet the maximum height, but there is no time to discuss. It's still charging air. Let's drop the car and let's see. Let's discuss. Okay, that's enough for now. Alright, now we're done with the vehicle dynamics of the car. You saw the maximum air up or the usable height and the lowest height it can go. Let's now discuss the suspension, a summary nung napag-usapan natin. As you may have known, double wishbone suspension sa unahan are a best friend for air suspension. Multi-link suspension sa rear is actually it's a nightmare. Plus the fact na hindi okay yung plug-and-play kit. As a surprise, kasi dapat plug-and-play na yon. We had to modify the plug-and-play kit sa likod to be efficient sa hangin. The rear side, kita nyo naman, very nice. Ganda ng pagkaka-layout ng boys. That is the beauty of Endo. Okay? So, as a car, as the Lexus, this is actually, yes, as I've discussed a while ago, or yes, this is in fact very similar dun sa Lexus RcF350 ko. And just a side note or a fun fact, lahat halos ng suspensions ng Lexus na ginagamit nila ay ganito. Double wishbone sa unahan, multi-link sa likod. Pag mga gantong performance models or luxury models nila, this is always the case for Lexus. This is why Lexus tends to be a better riding car than most of the Toyota counterparts nila. So, that's just a fun fact for you guys. As a stance car, is the RCF good? There is only one thing na hindi ko gusto sa kotseng ito is yung likod niya. Okay? The rear is not tucking the same way as the front, but I think ang problema lang ng owner na ito is sa camber arm niya. Tumatama na agad yung camber arm sa body. So, a new aftermarket camber arm will solve that problem. But regardless, this doesn't drop as well as the IS, yung sa atin, sa shop natin here. So, that being said, it's still a great stance car. It still looks mean. These cars are very rare na to be seen on the road. Hindi sila ganun ka-popular. Pero if you know your Lexus, if you know your engines, if you know your suspensions, then this is the car for yourself, not for everybody else. Kumbaga, what I'm trying to say is, if you know, you know. It's like buying a Porsche. You don't buy it just because everyone likes it. You were buying it because you know how much work was put into that car. Same goes for Lexuses. Okay, it's not always appealing to the general public, pero you get my point. So I won't go further than that. So, that being said, is this a difficult car to build? Yes. One of the most difficult cars to build are Lexuses talaga. Kasi mahirap yung sa likod. Medyo complicated din magtono ng height sensor sa unahan kasi malaki ang travel. As you may have seen, naka-height sensors din itong kotseng ito. Would I recommend you bagging your RCF? Yes, of course. This is one of the best combos. Lexus plus air suspension. Always a great combination. That is going to be it for now. So you want to bag your RCF. This is how. Please subscribe to the channel. There's more cars to cover. And I hope you learned something. This has been Cal from Fitment Engineering, and you're watching Fitment TV. Stay tuned for the next luxury car, supercar. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye. Kasama na naman kayo.